Recording in progress.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's a Friday afternoon. I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. We're just on the verge of summer, onto a great weekend ahead, and we're really excited. We've been looking forward to having this guest on for the past couple of weeks when we got contacted by him. This is Barry Grant Jr. He has a podcast called the All Even Podcast, coming to you live from New York City. We're excited to have you in here, Barry. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Definitely, man. Thank you, Darren, for having me on your show. It's an honor to have you, to be on your show. So, really looking forward to tonight, man.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is going to be really great. Lots to talk about. Lots going on in the world. Obviously, the biggest stories right now are NBA related because the playoffs are in full swing. We're getting close to the conference finals. Huge news today. A big trade. Boston decided to part ways with Kemba Walker, send him to OKC for Al Horford, Moses Brown, and some draft picks went back and forth. What did you think of the deal that was made today?
I think it was a great deal for both sides because Kemba Walker wasn't happy. I think the Celtics weren't happy with the situation. In regards to his performance, he's not being healthy with the knee. And they had to figure out a way to get up under that, get out of that $73 million owed to Kemba Walker. So, getting a guy like Al that knows the organization, he's a veteran, knows Tatum, knows Brown, he understands exactly what the organization is about, and to have that financial flexibility is what they're looking for. Because maybe, who knows, maybe the Celtics in a couple of years may look for another big piece.
Yeah.
Because I see them having a little shakeup this year in regards to maybe Marcus Smart being able to be moved so they can get somebody else. Sure, they don't want to part with him, but he does have that.
Yeah.
So, I can see that being a situation where they shake things up that way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks, it's good. Interesting that Brad Stevens made such an immediate move. Danny Ainge moved aside. He moved up into his seat and made a really quick move. There was speculation today that maybe Kemba Walker and Brad Stevens didn't get along. Did you hear anything like that?
I didn't hear anything like that. There could be a situation where they probably didn't see eye to eye. A coach wants the player to be available. The player is not able to do exactly what the coach needs. There could be some friction there, and maybe it's not playing well. Brad Stevens is a consistent guy. He's more like Greg Popovich, where guys have to fit his system. And if Kemba Walker doesn't fit the system, then things are going to kind of be a little tuck and go. Like a little tuck and go situation. So I can see how that could have been a dynamic there.
Sure.
But like I said, both parties have what they wanted. I think Kemba figures out what he wants to do because Oklahoma City, they're an organization that when they get together and trade, they work with them and say, hey, listen, you want to stay here and work something out, or we can probably find a destination for you to go to. Just give us time to be able to figure that out.
Nice.
So, we'll see what happens. I think both sides got exactly what they wanted. The Celtics got cap flexibility. Oklahoma City got some more draft capital, which would have a ton of them. They have five picks for 36 here. So they're really going to be, I guess, they're going to be contenders in regards to trying to figure out who they want. They can probably move up in the draft and go get one of those stud young guys. So who knows what they're planning? But they've always been an organization that drafts well and builds their team with young talent. So.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, for sure. OKC is doing quite the pretty strange rebuild there. I heard something like 23 first-round picks in the next 6 years. Just a ton. I can see a lot of trades being made with that organization with that much draft capital. They're probably going to be able to run one of the next 2 or 3 drafts.
Oh yeah. They definitely have, and I think that was the point because they can't pull in free agents. They never could.
Yeah.
And it's about if they can control these draft capital, they can be able to go get themselves a superstar And who knows? They could be able to pull off something like they did with Paul George a couple of years ago.
Right.
So we'll see. But they literally have control their own destiny, because there's a lot of good young players coming out in the next few drafts.
Yep.
And if they have all the draft capital, they're putting themselves in a really, really good position to land one or two of those guys.
Nice. Lots to talk about in the NBA, but I want to talk a little bit about yourself, your background. You've been doing podcasting about the same length of time I have been. You're about, I think, a month behind me. How's it been? Has it been just as great as you thought it would be? And are you enjoying doing this for, just to be able to talk sports on this forum? How's it been?
It's been a tremendous journey. Yeah, I tell you, I've always been a sports guy. Like from the time that I was, growing up, running around, I always had a fascination with sports. I grew up a Lakers fan. My mom was a big Lakers fan. I grew up a Magic Johnson fan. So I knew Lakers basketball before anything else.
Nice.
And that kind of grew into a fascination for the entire sport, the ins and outs of the sport. And school was never a thing for me. I did well in school, but I did nothing stuff. The only thing that stuck was sports information. Like I could tell you, stats on the 86 Mets, but I couldn't tell you what my homework for nap was that day. So, it was just something like that.
Yeah.
I always had a passion for sports, and decided to try to pursue this after a while. I went to the Art Institute in New York. That didn't work out. So took a couple of years to go to Connecticut to get broadcasting. They have campus in Long Island, New York.
Wow.
So, went there, graduated, and finished at the top of my class, and graduated in October of 19.
Okay.
So we have all the resources that are available to us at the school, studio, TV studio, a whole bunch of connections in the industry, all of these things.
Cool.
Then COVID hit, and all of that went away.
Wow.
The school closed, everything was just gone.
Damn.
So I'm sitting home, I'm like, I have all these skills. What am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and be depressed about it? Or am I going to do something about it?
Sure.
So I was talking to my friend on the phone, and he's like, you do this podcast. So I didn't name. So we're spitballing things on paper, and I don't touch it for like another month.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Month after that, hey, remember that list that we did? Pull it out. I want to see exactly if we can be able to find a good video. So he said, "Oh, well, let it fly." Nah, like that. What about back to the movies? No. Then he was like, "Oh, what about all defense?" I'm like, I like that.
You got something there.
I don't know. It doesn't really mean much.
Okay.
But it just counts.
Cool.
And went with that. July 13th was my launch date of 2020, and I haven't.
Wow. So yeah, a month from now you're celebrating your 1-year anniversary. That's pretty cool. I had my 1-year anniversary last week, and had a podcast with a couple of the guys that contribute a lot, and it was kind of cool to think of the journey that we've been on, and all the things that have gone in this last year. A lot of people said 2020 was one of the worst years of their life because of the pandemic, but 2020 was spectacular, a great year for me, and I'm glad I finally took this opportunity. I spent a lot of years as a broadcaster covering all sports, traveling around a lot, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do anymore, so I moved away from it. I got into the movie industry and the film industry, and it's great, but the hours are just horrible. We're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and I'm away from what I love, sports. I'm away from music. I'm away from the things that I want to be close to. So I took this opportunity and did this, and having a blast. It feels right. It feels just exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and I kind of feel like, we're very connected. I went to broadcasting school too, journalism school. You have the passion for the sports as I do. I understand you love movies. You love a lot of the same things I do. So it's nice to have a brother from a different mother in New York and doing the same thing, having a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. Listen, shouts to you because this journey is not easy. I
No.
tell people all the time that podcasts make it look easy, but there's so much that goes into it. There's so much preparation, editing. There's trying to find guests. There's trying to maintain that passion because as much as we love this, the grind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I know, they've suffered burnout already. They have to take some time away. Maybe they never come back. So it's a real thing, and you can be able to understand that, realize that you need to kind of give yourself a break a little while. Don't push too much because you might burn yourself out. Then you can be able to kind of like balance it out. So, like I said, I agree with you in regards to what you said about 2020. That it was a rough year for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that lost a lot of loved ones.
Jeez.
But 2020 was the year of creation, of identity, finding yourself.
Yeah.
Because we've never had too much time to ourselves to figure out who we are.
Yeah.
And if you didn't really find yourself over time, being alone, being by yourself, being in quarantine, then when are you ever going to have that time to actually like take a chance and take a chance on yourself?
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
definitely an enlightening time for me. Rough, but I found podcasts. It wasn't all bad.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. New York was just unbelievably hit so hard by the pandemic, and it was tragic to see the stories coming out of there. I was just always stunned and shocked when you started seeing semi-trailer trucks being fridges for bodies that were they didn't know what to do with, and man, I was really shocked at how bad it hit. A friend of mine went to New York right as the pandemic had just sort of started, and to just know that it went from 0 to 100 so quickly there, and affected so many people. It was really tough to watch.
Yeah, it was rough, man. I had a couple of that lost parents, and it was a ghost town. It was really a ghost town. A place that you grew up and loved that has always been busy. People just everywhere. Nobody's around, and it was just
Amazing, huh?
just odd.
Yeah. Very odd, yeah. Yeah, for pictures of New York to be ghost town, that's a shock. I don't think anybody would have ever expected that. That's for sure, yeah. So what part of New York where are you originally from? Where did you grow up?
Yeah, well, I was born in Brooklyn. But I didn't spend that much time in Brooklyn. I've been in Queens when I was 5,
Okay.
and was in Rosedale, Queens for the majority of my life. That's what I call home. Then when I was a teenager, my mom, she bought a house on Long Island, and that was in 2006. So I've been in Long Island since 2006. I bought a house myself in
Nice.
2016. So, I'm a Long Island kid.
Good, yeah. It must have been tough in Queens. Rosedale's a tough area. Tell me about the hard life that you had there.
Rosedale is considered, a tough neighborhood. I've seen a lot growing up, but my mom, hardworking as she was, made sure that she kept me out of that lifestyle.
Bonus.
I went to private school my entire life,
Great.
and the reason why, because of that reason, but she didn't want me to fall into those traps
Yeah.
that were very easy to get into. So, kudos to my mom.
Nice.
She's my MVP.
Sweet.
Did that, and like I said, it was something that built character for me in regards to like growing up that way. Growing up around that environment, understanding how to think quick with your feet, how to survive and really look out for certain things, and kind of common sense and realize that this is not the right thing to do. I got a lot of homies that they're still on the corners doing stuff like that, but I've never decided to do that. I've never wanted to pursue that. I never wanted to be that type of person because I never wanted to let my mother down.
Great.
So,
Good.
It's always something that kind of kept me straight to be like, listen, your mom worked hard for you to be on these streets doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Or getting in trouble or getting in jail or getting yourself killed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that she was there for you, and you not wanting to let her down was such a big factor. Because I mean, we hear so many tough stories from people that grow up in neighborhoods like you do, the bullying that they have to suffer through, the tough things that they have to witness on a day-to-day basis, and it does build character for sure. But I think you can build character in bit better environments too. So yeah. So, but when you said your mom's your real MVP, did that Kevin Durant MVP speech touch you as much as it touched a lot of people when he said his mom was his MVP?
Yeah, definitely. That hit home. That definitely home because it's like I understood what he was saying. Like, the fact that his mom was his world. That's not how I grew up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I felt every word, every sentence that he spoke that day. It was really good because that was one of my favorite MVP speeches.
Yeah, it's hard to remember many of them, but that one I don't think most of us will ever forget. And I would have thought it would have meant something to somebody like you for sure. Let's talk a little bit about KD and what's going on with that series. That Brooklyn Milwaukee series has had so many ups and downs, and Brooklyn with their big three getting injured and having their struggles. It started looking like the scales were tipped in Milwaukee's favor. It looked like Milwaukee was going to be able to take them out, but Kevin Durant stepped up with a huge Game 5 and gave them an opportunity to have that Game 6. Milwaukee comes back and wins their game. Milwaukee undefeated at home and just going on a run there, but now we've got Game 7 tomorrow night. What do you think we're going to see out of this game? Who's going to take it? I listened to one of your podcasts and you said Milwaukee was your team to come out of the East. Is that still what you're thinking?
Yeah, Darren, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I've said it from day one of the season that I like Brooklyn. I think that they're talented. I think they've assembled the best offensive trio in the history of basketball.
Yep.
That's not doubt. But the thing with them is that it wasn't the ability, it was availability.
Sure.
Will they be there to win the championship?
Yeah.
Will they be there to play in these games? And we have our answer. No. So Milwaukee, they're good enough. They were good enough to beat Brooklyn with the big three. The problem with Milwaukee is that the coaching has been very, very like Coach Budenholzer. I don't know what he did in regards to in Game 5. I didn't know the game plan that it had. That was one of the worst coaching performances I've ever seen.
Yeah. Bizarre.
And their guys don't play well on the road. That's the problem. Chris Middleton, as good as he was in Game 6, he was at home. He can't. He doesn't have that. Not saying he doesn't have the ability, but he hasn't shown the ability to do that on the road.
Yeah.
They're Brooklyn in Game 7. So if everybody's going to get the splits of how good Middleton plays at home and away, they're going to look at that and say, maybe I have to favor Brooklyn here because we can't expect a team out of Chris. So that's what's with Milwaukee. For Brooklyn, Harden is banged up.
Yeah.
Kyrie is officially out for Game 7, not playing. That leads Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant give you another Game 5 performance. Yes, he can. Will it be enough? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's all going to be about the supporting cast. I think they're 45 great. If Giannis gets 45 great, who else is going to step up?
Yeah.
Joe Harris had a bad game in Brooklyn. Jeff Green had a great game in game 5, but he didn't have a great game in game 6. Who was going to be that guy to step up other than Kevin? That's going to be the problem.
Yeah, it's amazing in the playoffs how inconsistent the supporting cast is. It's amazing. You cannot predict from one game to the next.
Right.
It seems like, you can always count on the stars to get their 30, 45 points, but the supporting cast, they're there one game, they're gone the next, they're there another game, then they're gone for two. It's really bizarre how you can't know who's going to step up and be that second, third option.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I called these playoffs highlight zones for a reason. Never seen anything like this. This is bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, the Twilight Zone is a very good analogy of it. If both Philly and if both Philly and the Jazz lose out in this next game, they will be no number one seeds for the first time since 1995. So it's crazy. There has been so many bizarre things going on in these playoffs. And one of the biggest things has been these injuries. The injuries have been rearing their ugly head for so many of these teams, especially the teams that have been eliminated already. I think a lot of people did say this because they had the shortest offseason they ever had. They tried to compact the schedule and squeeze it in. But it's really too bad that it has affected these playoffs so much.
No, I 100% agree with you. I remember, like I said, as a Laker fan, I was very excited about winning the title last.
Yeah.
But that quick turnaround, I knew that the Lakers and the Miami Heat would be affected the most.
Sure.
Because having a 61-day off season and then do it again in a condensed season, you really don't have time to rest, you don't have time to practice. There's not many rules. It's just game. It was a grind, and that's why you saw you had more substitute injuries this year than any other year on record.
Yeah.
That's because of that. So, the NBA, I had that on one of my Instagram Live on Wednesday as well.
Nice.
I said that the NBA, although they were cash strapped, I understand that. TV deals, you have to honor the contracts, all that is great. But you sacrifice star players to do so.
Yeah.
And at what cost did you get your game back normal?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a fine line. I understand the dilemma that they were in, but these playoffs now are testament to that, and we may end up having one of the lowest rated finals if Brooklyn doesn't get in there, if the Clippers are not there. If it's Bucks and Jazz, we may be looking at a situation where San Antonio or going against the Clippers in 05.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I think the NBA league office is questioning probably a lot of the decisions they've made this year because they sacrificed a ton of top end talent, and we're seeing the New York's out of there, the LA out of there, all the biggest markets are starting to fall by the wayside, and it's been too bad. My prediction going into these playoffs was it's going to be Brooklyn facing off against Phoenix. That's who I thought were going to both make it. I'm still on track. Phoenix is the only one that's getting rest and sitting there, getting to heal up all their bodies and wait for their next opponent. But the other teams have to slug it out. We're just minutes away from the tip-off of the Hawks and Sixers. Obviously, a crazy game last game with the Hawks coming back from 26 points down, really late, coming from like 22 points down, and shocking the Sixers and the Philly crowd. Ben Simmons has been their Achilles heel with his inability to get his shot off, get those free throws done. Will that be the factor that eliminates the Sixers?
There's so many layers to this in regards to Philly. We've seen them back-to-back games below big leagues.
Yeah.
And even in I think in game 2, they blew the lead and lost it. So, we're looking at a lot of games in the series. The series could be over already.
Yeah.
So let me kind of break this down, you can understand the frustration of this organization right now.
Yeah.
Is that Doc Rivers, as good as he is, he's a great coach, going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Doc Rivers is one of the coaches that tend to not trust in games like this because hasn't been good in an elimination game.
Right.
He is responsible for choking away three 3-1 leads in the playoff.
Wow.
And he lost 4 games 7 in his career.
Jeez.
More than that.
Wow.
So, there's a lot going on with him in regards to these elimination games. I said it on my live. I said that Doc Rivers he's the scariest horror movie I've ever seen. And when you see him in a game 7, it's the scariest thing you'll ever see because it's just awful to watch. It's really awful to watch because his decision making is not good. That's one thing he do.
Okay.
Biggest problem that they have is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is the biggest problem that they have because even in that game that they lost, Game 5, Embiid has a great game.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris goes and has a terrible game. But at least Tobias Harris puts shots up. Ben Simmons took 4 shots.
Yeah.
30 minutes, he took 4 shots.
He didn't even take a shot in the fourth quarter, did he? No, not even one. That's bizarre.
And the thing is with him is that does he want to play basketball? It's always been a question for me because I remember him playing in LSU for that 1 year. And it was always this motor talk about him. Does he have the motor, the desire to play basketball?
Wow.
He has the tools, but does he have the desire to play? And what we're seeing is that he's been in the league 4 or 5 years now, and he still hasn't developed any type of offensive game.
Wow.
Not a jump shot, not a pull-up game. Free throws has not gotten any better.
Unreal.
So, and they paid him still because they paid him for the potential, not the production. At this point, if he does not step up in these last 2 weeks, I don't think he has any choice but to move on from him. Obviously, they're not going to move on from Embiid. Excuse me. They're going to move on from Ben Simmons because Embiid is fragile. That guy is always going to play well. You know, it's always helpful Embiid, but it's never packaged. It's never tired with the other guy was passion. It's about who you want this. Do you understand the situation that we're in?
Sure.
It's a wrestling game. Are you approaching it that way? And from what I'm seeing,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shock. You know, all of us, if we had that opportunity, you know, we would play it like it was life or death. And it's amazing when a guy has that much size, he has that much ability, and it doesn't seem like his passion is there. It's just an absolute stunner.
Yeah. I remember when he came out, everybody was comparing him to LeBron James. Big body, he was able to pass, he had that vision, you know, the high flying, all that stuff. I said, I don't see LeBron James. I see Lamar Odom.
Right. Wow.
I see Lamar Odom. I see a master of none.
Good comparison.
I see a good player. But Lamar Odom even had an offensive game. So that's not even Lamar Odom justice in regards to what we're seeing out of Ben Simmons.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, he better address it in the offseason, work really, really hard and change it. There was a lot of talk going into the season that they might break that duo up and one of the other is going to go. They decided to, you know, keep at it. There was a lot of talk north of the border here that Kyle Lowry was going to go down there and be their point guard. They decided to go with George Hill, and they said, oh, that was a really smart move and great addressing. But, you know, it's definitely hasn't shown to be a good move so far. And, yeah, I really worry about all the Philly fans out there. They have such a phenomenal team in so many areas, but it might have been a bad move keeping Ben there, not being able to advance. He doesn't seem to have the shooting skill and the passion.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about basketball. Like you can be as good as you want to be. Even an athlete, not just basketball. you can have the food, but if you don't have the passion for the game, and I'm not, that's what I see. That's not the case or whatever, but it's what he's showing, and if everybody sees that, it has to be.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, the Jazz Clippers game is a little bit later on tonight. That series has went up and down. Obviously, Utah came out of the chute winning the first 2 games. LA's roared back and won the last 3. A lot of people were really shocked that LA was able to win without Kawhi, but PG-13 has actually played phenomenal the last 2 games and really put the team on his back. He's had a little bit of help for sure, but yeah, he's finally stepped up and been that guy that they hoped he would be and the guy that they wanted to bring in there. So do you see them, the Clippers, being able to pull this off and finish off this series now?
Darren, I'm going to tell you a little secret about myself. I despise the Clippers.
Okay.
Fan growing up, I despise the Clippers. So
Sure.
I have killed this organization for years. I continue to kill them. I've killed Paul George over the years in regards to his playoff failures.
Yeah.
But what he's doing right now is what he's getting paid to do. They paid him to be this guy. And for the last few games, like you said, he stepped up. That game 5 was tremendous in regards to what he brought to the table. And 36 points, 17 rebounds, something like that. Like he was all over.
Amazing.
So, shouts to him. They've also got, like you said, Reggie Jackson has a good playoff. Marcus Morris has had a good playoff. So if they can continue to get production out of those other guys, then I can see the Clippers wrapping this up tonight. However, Utah is very well coached.
Sure.
And they're very well, not really. They have some bench talent. I wouldn't say that they're that deep. I think the Clippers are a little deeper than them.
Okay.
But we saw that Donovan Mitchell played terrible game 5. He had a terrible game. They can't sustain him having that game. He has to be good for them.
Yeah.
He can't have a game where he's scoring 17 points because there's so much pressure on the other guys. Guys like Wiggins, guys like Neal that's not a scorer. Jordan Clarkson on the bench has had a bad series. You have Mike Conley who played all series.
Yeah, that's been tough. Yeah.
That team. So hopefully he'll be able to play tonight. Or, there's a game 7 he'll be able to play.
Yeah.
But the biggest concern that I have with the team is Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is the great defender. He was named Defensive Player of the Year for the 3rd time. He is not offensive. He's not a guy that you can be able to throw the ball down the post, get me a basket. Not that type of guy. So there's a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell and the other guys, Donovan Mitchell, to be good. If those guys are not, you can't expect Gobert to save you. You won't.
No. Yeah, it's shocking that a guy that big, that good defensively, always in the paint, blocking shots, keeping guys away from the hoop. He's not able to get a lot more second chance points, a lot of easy baskets off of rebounds. It's shocking that his numbers look pretty terrible for a guy that's Defensive Player of the Year 3 times running, like you say, and the size that he has. It's a shock that Mitchell doesn't have more help there. That looks like a great 1-2 punch on paper, but Gobert is really letting him down a lot.
Yeah, I had said that the Jazz would be just as good as if they got a regular runner. They got a guy like Noel, or a guy like Brooklyn that's not, probably not going to get that much money. They would still be that good. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, he's a good player, but like I said, they don't need a guy making that much money with that little bit of production on offense.
Yeah.
If Rudy Gobert was making $20 million a year, this wouldn't be a thing. He's making $30 million a year. You're expecting more out of it.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, Donovan Mitchell's been pretty banged up. He's, got some nagging injuries. I could tell that he was favoring the foot. He wasn't driving like he normally does. So if he can get a little healthier, they can, they need to win a couple games. But, I don't know. I think LA might have their number now. And, it might be LA and Phoenix in that final. What about Phoenix's run? They've struggled for many, many years. Booker's been there 8 years and put up a lot of great numbers, but never could take them anywhere. CP3 comes in there. Man, he has been just the glue that held this team together and put them on this run there. And they were a fun team to watch. And look out, they might just win a championship this year.
Yeah, man. I had Phoenix as my dark horse team to win the NBA championship. They kind of remind me of the Miami Heat from last year.
Nice.
If you guys can be able to go back to my podcast very early on when I started. Every podcast, I was telling everybody about how good Miami was and how they have predictable matchups every round. If they're able to win, they can be able to get to the NBA Finals.
Nice.
Got the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Phoenix is the same way. Phoenix has that same type of role, that not easy role, but it's favorable matchups regardless of them being able to get to the finals. So, like you said, Paul, he's had a career. He and LeBron James are guys that I call organizational builders.
Sure.
They are guys that go to your team and they completely change the dynamic of the franchise. They will turn losing franchises into winning franchises based on their desire alone. Chris Paul is a guy that went into Oklahoma City after he got traded from Houston. And everybody looked at basketball territory for him. And what did he do? He led that team to the 5th seed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that testament to his leadership, to his drive, and to not be a loser. He doesn't believe in losing no matter where he is. And that's what he brought to Phoenix. He brought that winning mentality, that no give up attitude, that dog mentality to Phoenix. And they've all embodied that. And also, Monty Williams is a hell of a coach. It's a hell of a coach. As a Lakers fan, that's why I wanted to ended up getting from Vogel. He won a championship at the time, but Monty Williams is really, really talented coach. He's showing that all of his skills are on display. Devin Booker, he's amazing. You got DeAndre, who's up-and-coming big man, who's really having a great deal. You know, he did a great job on Jokic in the second round. So, they do have a chance. And it all depends on who gets into the finals, how high the chances are of winning the NBA championship. Because Brooklyn, it depends on how healthy Brooklyn is. If it's the Bucks, that could be a series I can see that Phoenix can have the advantage. So, it all depends on the matchup. But Phoenix has a good chance. They really do.
Yeah. I love your saying there, the best ability is availability. And it's definitely been the biggest case this year in the playoffs. A lot of people are saying Chris Paul's the greatest point guard to ever live because of these last few years, but I think this is definitely recency bias, and there's a lot of guys that for some reason people are forgetting. So where do you kind of rank him on your all-time greatest point guard list?
Well, it's funny you say that because I think on my Tuesday show, I was a segment. Said that we are prisoners of the moment. We're always prisoners of the moment, and I don't have my top 5.
Yeah.
As great as it is, there's been great point guards in the league. Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, Steve Nash, Steve Kidd. All of these particular point guards that have left their mark on the game in different ways.
Yeah.
I guess Chris Paul and Nash are a little bit in the same category to me, but I don't put Chris Paul over John Stockton.
No.
I don't put him over Jason Kidd. I don't put him over Isaiah Thomas. I don't put him over Magic Johnson. So there's a lot of point guards right there on this name that doesn't put him in the top 5. So.
And you didn't even include Steph Curry in that list that you just.
Right. You didn't include Steph Curry because the thing is, like, I don't look at Steph Curry as a natural point guard. Okay. He's more of a hybrid guard. So, it depends on where he defines himself. If he defines himself as a guard, then cool. If he defines himself as a guard, then that's fine too. So, if you're going to define him as a point guard, then he's definitely bigger than Paul.
Yeah.
So, all of these, there's so many great names, and it's not a knock, to Chris Paul that he's not in the top 5. because there's been some great point guards. So is he in the top 10? Yeah, I think he's in the lower part of that top 10, but he's still in it. So,
Sure.
I think that's what's cool.
Very good point. I fully agree with you. I don't like that, people forget to, a couple years back, oh, I don't remember that guy anymore. I'm just thinking of people right now. So you have a regular segment you call the greatest segment on the planet. I love it. Which one's that? Tell our viewers and listeners.
Yeah, that's I call it Dummy of the Week. So on Tuesdays we do candidates, and then on Saturday winner. So in the world of sports, somebody always does something. Whether it's the Major League Baseball, what they're doing, whether it's somebody individually, somebody does something that I have to speak about. So it's a lighthearted segment. Sometimes it gets serious depending on the subject. But it's definitely a lot of fun. I love that segment. A lot of people enjoy that segment.
Who are the competitors this week? Do you remember?
Oh, well, who do we have on Tuesday? I believe it was Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
Stephen A. was the candidate on Tuesday, and we have another candidate who's going to be, I think it's Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is the other candidate. He came out and said he's not wearing masks. He'll retire due to COVID restrictions. He doesn't care.
Wow.
He doesn't care. It's just like, come on, like it's nonsense. Like you're a professional. You have to follow particular guidelines, and that's what it is. Like if you want to go ahead and retire, then do it. Don't talk about it.
Sure.
So he's just trying to get it right now. It's just nonsense. So tune in for that. I'm going to carry him.
Good. I can't wait. Stephen A. Smith, you mentioned him, and I've had some friends of mine. My girlfriend just actually said it last week. She's like, why does he always have to yell? Every time he's on, I start getting a headache. And another friend of mine said, holy cow, like, why does he talk about sports so often that he doesn't know anything about? It's like, stay in your lane, and everybody will be happy. Like, what are you doing? You're trying to diversify yourself to talk about everything. You don't have to do that. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, listen, Stephen A. Smith, I said on Tuesday that I have to do a disclaimer on my idol. I look up to him a lot. He's a pioneer, he's a trailblazer.
Yeah.
But sometimes he definitely does go off the rails. And when I had him on as a candidate, it was the fact that he called Anthony Davis. He said, the best ability is availability. You have to make sure that you're available for your team, and that's why he didn't win. When Kyrie Irving came, he was like, "Oh, Captain Kyrie, this and that," and it's not the same energy, bro. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean?
No.
Keep it consistent because you're, I guess you're in nickname. You want to keep it local. You have to keep the same consistency and energy because people are looking at you. And if I found it, everybody else find it.
Nice.
So, it's one of those things where he's such a personality, and I think he likes to take on challenges.
Sure.
Even if he's not well versed in something, he's smart enough to be able to learn. And I like that mentality because if it were me, I would do the same thing. Like, you can throw me. I'm an Islander, but I'm not well versed in hockey like that. In regards to every team around, the NHL. I love it, but I'll be able to learn it if I take the time. So it's always about taking on that challenge and seeing how well you can do it.
True that. Yeah, true that. A lot of things come to mind. I'm glad you're an Islanders fan. I've been an Islanders fan since I was a really young kid. My dad said, if there's a team that you want to follow, I recommend the Islanders. And I said, really? Wow. Why the Islanders? And he said, they're making a lot of really good moves. They're really putting together an incredible incredible core. And every piece of the puzzle, I keep seeing them building on it. It's been phenomenal. And I'm like, okay. So every morning I would open up the paper. I would look on the sports highlights, and the Islanders lost, and they lost, and they lost. And they were just getting killed all the time. And I kept thinking, what is he thinking? Why did he tell me this? And then they started winning, and they won a cup, and then they won another cup, and they won 4 cups in a row. And I would wear my jersey to school, and I got to brag. I got to rub it into all the fans of all the other teams. My team's the greatest. We are the best. And it was phenomenal. And I've always stayed an Islanders fan. It's great to see them doing so well again. It's great to see that energy back in that old barn. And it must ignite the Long Island community because, they've had some ups and downs over the years, but nice to see they're back up on top.
Oh yeah, man. I used to work right across the street from Nassau County.
Wow.
So right after work, I would go to the farm. So I would be there for like 35 or 50 weeks a season.
Nice.
There, so that's really my team.
Cool.
I always take my friends always laugh at my things. I always have to thank John Tavares. If it wasn't for him,
Lee.
but the fact that you went ahead and left us for dead, that's fine. You look at Toronto, okay, that's fine. I was really upset for him to get hurt that way. I never like when players get hurt. Hope for his recovery. Yeah. But we're moving on. We have been better without.
Sure have.
We have a really good opportunity to actually win the cup this year. Like my motto for this entire playoff has shocked me. And we're right here. We lost to San Francisco. It's fine. I don't think that they're going to lose game 4. I think that the Hornets are going to be rocking again. Yeah. I think the Islanders tie up the series in 4, and then we kind of have a 3 at that point. So,
nice.
We'll see what happens.
What's the atmosphere like outside the arena? We're seeing a lot of these huge parties and get-togethers now. Do they have a really good following outside the arena?
Oh, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. Like the Long Island natives are going crazy. It's a beautiful time to be an Islanders fan right now. Like normally people wouldn't have their Islanders on, but now you see people wearing their hats, they're wearing their sweaters, they're wearing anything Islanders right now. They're putting on. It doesn't matter how old it is. They're bringing it out because they're proud to represent the team. And I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That's really great. I wanted to tell you about 2 of my main analysts. I've got a guy that we do podcast every Monday. His name is Jason Cameron. Him and I have known each other for a lot of years, and he's a big NBA guy, knows a lot about many sports. We talk about NFL, we talk about mixed martial arts, NBA, I think is his biggest love. And he was also saying, look out for Miami. Miami's going to go on a run during this bubble. And he said that right from the start and all the way. So great minds think alike. He was on the same bandwagon, and it was a shocking result for a lot of people because I don't think many people have picked them to be there. And but it's good that you say that Phoenix reminds you of them because I agree. I think that they're the team.
Yeah, definitely. They have a great team. They play great defense. They play hard-nosed defense. They have a system. Everybody knows the role. Yep. And playing in that building, if you're an away team going into that building, that is not exactly your favorite game because that rocks. And they love their team and they support their team. So it's a good atmosphere. It's a good situation to be in right now. The state of Africa is proud of their team.
Yeah, they sure should. Yeah. The other guy I want to mention, his name is Dale Corey, and him and I talk a lot about baseball. He's been a Mets fan since he was a little kid, and I think you're a Mets fan too, am I right?
Oh yeah. I bleed blue and orange.
Nice.
I don't do this, but in regards to the Islanders, oh yeah.
Tell me about some of your memories of the Mets, and I guess it's just they're close. I guess you've been going to games since you were a kid.
Yeah, man. I always loved the game because I grew up playing basketball. I was a basketball player.
Great.
But my favorite sport is baseball.
Nice.
So I was always scared to play, but I would always love to watch the game. You know, I grew up watching guys like Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey, Ken Griffey Senior. I grew up watching Roberto Alomar. These guys used to always play the game the right way. And then my Met fandom kind of started with Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza, okay, great.
Mets. I fell in love with Piazza because he was such a personality.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was he a personality, but he was a really good baseball player. Like, he wasn't a great defender, he wasn't a catcher, but man, he was the best offensive catcher I've ever seen.
Sure.
So my cousin that had, he had connections at Chase Stadium, took me to my first game.
Wow.
And we sat right behind the catcher, right behind catcher.
Home plate, yeah.
Right behind home plate, and I'm looking there, and I'm like, okay, well, this is cool. And the game started. I can't remember who they were playing, but what I can remember is that we were down like 5-4. Piazza comes up, it's a 2-run shot. The place goes nuts. Darren, the place was shaking, and I was scared because I was like, "Is the building gonna come down?" Because the guys are shaking this way. Like I don't, and people are cheering and high-fiving each other. And I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever been part of.
Cool.
And I just kept going back. Like I always wanted to go back, and I love the old place. I love Chase Stadium. City Field's a great place. I normally go to like about 40 games a year.
Nice. Wow.
But Chase Stadium, that place is special because it shade the rock, and
cool.
I just have great memories of the Mets. My favorite memory was in 2015. That year, we actually went to 75 games.
Wow, good for you.
75 games that year.
Wow.
For whatever reason, I just felt like a year that was special.
Nice.
And I was there for game 3-4.
Wow.
And man, that was amazing to be in that stadium in the World Series. We didn't fare too well, but it was still a great experience to be around so many Met fans who was happy that we were on this journey together, and it was a really fun time.
Oh, good for you. I'm glad you have such an awesome memory. I would have loved to be there. And I miss a lot of those old stadiums. Shea Stadium was phenomenal, and just had such an incredible charm to it. And it's tough when these teams need to start making more money and they have to move to these bigger, better, newer stadiums because they miss a lot of that feeling and the energy that you get from the old parks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember when they opened the City Field in 2009, and I was like, I remember the first time I went there. I think I went there probably. Yeah, I was there. I was there a day, and there's nothing that screams Mets here. They took the apple out here, and I was like, this doesn't feel. This is not. It feels like some old stadium. This is not Shea. So you realize that over the years they changed the dimensions. They brought different things in to make it feel more home.
Cool.
And it's fine now. It's a place to watch a game, to take your family and enjoy. And hopefully we're able to get a World Series because we have the best.
Yeah. Jacob deGrom, man, I just can't believe how great he is to watch on the mound. He gets out there and he looks almost unhittable. He looks like one of the best pitchers to ever step on the mound. That must have shaken everybody seeing him leave with a little bit of a strain the other night. Luckily, it doesn't sound anything serious, but how great is it to have him on your starting staff?
It is living. It's like living a dream. It really is because I've said on my show months ago that he is knocking on the door of Tom Seaton's great races.
Wow.
He has a way to feel like he's not going to catch him in wins, obviously.
No.
Baseball's just different now. But in regards to his ERA, in regards to his strikeouts, in regards to his stuff like that, his Cy Young, he can catch him there. What we're seeing, man, I don't know if we'll see another pitcher. This is dominant out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally out of nowhere.
Crazy. Yeah. And what about Lindor? How happy are you to have him on the team?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Lindor. Like, the Met fans are very weird. They will complain that we don't have a superstar, right? Oh, we don't have this guy. We don't have this guy. Nobody wants to come here. And then when we do get it, they kill him because he's batting too. And I'm like,
Right.
it's his first year in the field. And newsflash, he's played his entire career in the American League.
Yeah.
It takes time to adjust to the league. Give him some time. And also, it's been very cold. Now it's starting to let up. He's been playing better over the last 15 to 20 games. He's going over average.
Yeah.
So say that he doesn't batting 265, 280. Who knows? But, we all, as Mets fans, always complaining because that's what we're used to. We're used to just complaining about bad.
I see.
That are good to us. And good calls and get some things that happen. You don't know how to react. You don't know how to feel. Like I think that if Mets win a World Series this year, there's going to be a situation where fans are going to look. What are we going to think about now? One, this is like the Red Sox with the World Series, right?
Yeah.
They were like, know how to feel.
I don't know how to feel. Yeah. Never used to this feeling. Don't understand it.
Losing, and it's like, I don't know what this feels like. So we may end up having a situation like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Who's been your favorite guest that you've had on so far? I know that's hard to pick because, I'm sure you loved them all, but have you had somebody that was a guest that you were just like, wow, I'm really, really thrilled that they came on?
Let me see. On my podcast, okay, I have my individual podcast Tuesday and Saturday. I also have an interview every Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Exclusively on YouTube. All the interviews there. It's also streaming on Spotify and Breaker, Deezer, and Stitcher, and all that stuff. So we've been interviewing people since last year, and it's been really fun. So if I'm gonna say my favorite interview, it would have to be former baseball player for the A's, Ty Boo.
Okay.
He was one of my favorites. And then Jared Love, former Met. Spoke to him as well, and that was very pleasant. Guys, fun.
Cool.
Very keen. Had a good time with him. But Ty as well was a great interview. I say those two were really my favorite. But there's also another two. Mark.
Okay.
Who worked for ESPN. Cancer survivor, really amazing. So,
Wow.
That's time. Definitely go to my YouTube, All Even podcast. You look for All Even Live exclusive. All the interviews are there. They're really good.
Sweet. Yeah. I can't wait to check them out. Yeah, and I'll tell my viewers and listeners, yeah, check those out. They sound amazing. So we've covered lots of the team sports. The only one we haven't got into is the NFL. Who's your favorite team and why?
NFL, I don't know how you feel about this, Darren, but it's Dallas Cowboys.
Stephen A. Smith hates those guys. But that's your team, eh? Wow. Okay. Tell me why.
I love the Dallas Cowboys. Ever since I was a kid, I actually was a Jets fan, and I always had an affinity for the Cowboys. So the Jets was what I would always watch Cowboys games. So when I decided to, give in my Jets because I couldn't deal with the press anymore, I said I'm going to be a Cowboys fan. So I've been a full-time Cowboys fan for about 8 years now. And I love the organization. I've always loved the organization. I love Jerry. I think Jerry Jones, because I'm a wrestler, he reminds me of him. So for these old guys, it's just it's a large organization. I think that they have a chance to really be this year. Okay. Dak Prescott coming up with a little injury. Hopefully he can be great, but they really have a Gas. Hopefully, defense can be good because the defense was atrocious last year. So my history with that. So if they can be able to get back on the right defensively, they to shock a lot of people. I do want them winning this. We have a game this year. So I see the Cowboys. If everything goes well, I can see them going to
Okay.
for them winning the division. I think the two teams that concern me in the division is the Giants and the football team. I think Washington is really good at that. They're underrated. I think they're flying under the radar a little bit. And New York, they have put together a nice team. So, I think the NLE, the
NFCs, yeah.
as good as they've been in the last season. NFC was very, very bad. I don't think they're going to be as bad.
Cool. Yeah, it's funny. I used to be a Jets fan, and I handed in my fan card to. I just, I couldn't deal with it. That organization broke my heart way too many times, and I needed to move on. Because I'm on the West Coast here, I like Seattle Seahawks quite a bit, but my all-time favorite team is San Diego Chargers, so a team that I've liked since I was a kid. I was always a big fan of many New York teams. New York City was the city that I always wanted to go to. I wanted to live in. I wanted to cheer for all the teams there. I feel like you guys are so lucky being there, having so many options of sporting events to go to. There's just seeming like something going on all the time. We talked about New York being a ghost town during the pandemic. Anytime that I've been there, or anytime you ever see anything from there, there's just so much going on all the time. It's a spectacular place to live, and you must be really happy to be around that all the time.
Yeah, man. Growing up in New York, I can't see myself everything. Like, obviously, as time goes on, your mind kind of get older. Maybe you want to change this. But right now, I don't see myself leaving. I love I love the atmosphere, the environment. When this place is rocking, there's no place in something like it. It's the part of the world, so it's a great place. It really is.
Yeah. One of the greatest things about doing these podcasts is they're global. I can talk to people all over the planet and have and will. But this is a treat having you. Have you ever been to our city here in Vancouver?
No, I have never been to Vancouver, but I heard people say you lovely city.
Yeah.
Lovely city. I heard that it's very clean.
Yeah.
I would love to go there because New York can be a little dirty sometimes. I love the places to see how everybody does things on the other side. I have a buddy. He also has a podcast. The Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh wow.
They I don't in Toronto. They're somewhere, but they're Dallas Cowboys fans up there. So
Nice.
I'm going to go up there at one point to go, be on their show and be a part of that. So
Awesome.
I'll definitely come by Vancouver. You can show me around.
Yeah, I'd love to be your tour guide. Lots of amazing things here. I could show you a really, really good time. And once our borders open up and I come down south there, I can't wait to meet you face to face and go check out a Mets game, go see an Islanders game, something like that. Have a lot of fun. This was a blast. I'm glad we did it. I think we should do it on a semi-regular basis when big things are happening. I'd love to talk more sports with you. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, man.
Sweet. I have a Brooklyn shirt right behind me representing you there. I've got lots of baseball books behind me, lots of basketball books. I tried to represent your city and all the things you do. I'm glad you love sports. You have so much passion. I have so much passion about sports. One of the main reasons why I want to do this is I want to try to make people love sports, not make people love sports, but inspire people to love sports, inspire people to have sports in their life more. I don't think my life would have turned out as good as it has without it. It just makes it gets me up in the morning almost every day, just excited. Can't wait for the next game. Can't wait for something else to do and talk about. And I just love doing what we're doing here. This is a lot of fun, and it's great to meet great people like you.
Yeah, definitely, man. The way I look at it is that me growing up as a kid, I wouldn't have the friends that I had when I played basketball. I've met so many people in my life because of sports.
Yep.
And now talking about sports, it's the universal language. There's so many people out there that love sports. Even if we don't speak the language, we might root for the same team. There's connections in there. We can find a common ground. So it's something that be able to just galvanize the world.
Yeah.
No matter if we're in Vancouver or New York, we have so much common that we never would have realized had not been in sports.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I think that everybody, if you don't want to be a sports nut, at least have some follow a team.
Yeah.
Follow the sport. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's just the unifier. That's it's a great unifier. So it's a beautiful thing. Sports is a beautiful thing. And when we didn't have it, pandemic that wow, man, it was a lot of stress. Because a lot of they put all of their energy into the sports teams because we don't know what type of life like that. Maybe that's their maybe that's how they let off stress, and then the fact that it wasn't there. So I love sports for that reason because it connects us, makes us closer, it shrinks the world, and
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right with all those things. It is a great unifier, and it's so fun when you meet fans of your same team all over the place, and when you get to go to games, when you get to be at bars, restaurants, houses, people are cheering. It's so nice to have that camaraderie, and so nice to have a team that you can just support and pour your heart into. And lots of times they break it, but luckily we get a lot of joy from it too, and passion. So I'm gonna send you on your way. The game is nearing the end of the first quarter. It's 25-20 for the Hawks right now. A minute and a half to go in the first. We'll see what emerges from this game. I can't wait to watch these games tonight. The big game 7 tomorrow. That's going to be great. And let's do this again fairly soon. And I appreciate you coming in and reaching out to us. This was a blast, and good luck on your podcast this weekend. And I can't wait to listen to some of the great interviews that you've done that you pointed out to us.
Yeah, definitely. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on. Love to do it again. Like anytime I'm here.
Sweet. Okay, awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, Barry. Thank you to all our viewers and listeners. Appreciate your support as always. Thanks to our partners and sponsors. And can't wait to see you next week. This was a busy week. We had 5 podcasts this week. It was crazy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support as always, people. Thanks, Barry. And we will see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Recording in progress.
Hey, I fooled you. I need to mention the partners and sponsors. So let's get into showing them. And we never want to forget the people that help us put these together. Anchor has been a great partner and sponsor for Complete Sports Media. Fantastic at posting on multiple podcast platforms. They call themselves the easiest place to make a podcast. To go to anchor.fm and follow the details. Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, industry leader in technology, performance, and value. And the V350 stick is a must-have for anybody in your family. Pampas and Possibilities, they design and sell dried florals, do floral arrangements and installations. And Forever Living, the aloe vera company, they grow and manufacture aloe vera-based products for health and beauty. So, didn't want to forget them. Thanks again. Hey, I'm going to send you on your way. Love you guys lots. Thanks again. Take care. Bye for now.